Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the best products from 20 brands at Sephora. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so this video was absolutely inspired by Andrea Mattiliano's video, and I think she might have been inspired by somebody else. It might have been Kelly Gooch. Either way, I will leave their videos linked down below. So let's just hop right into it. I just picked 20 brands, and I tried to pick brands that I know I've tried several things from. So the first brand is ABH, and under that one I had so many. I wanted to say the Soft Glam palette. It's a classic. It's beautiful. Sultry is a favorite, but it's been discontinued. The new Nouveau palette is phenomenal, but the one that I love with all my heart is the Norvina Volume 5 palette. This is my all-time favorite purple eyeshadow palette. The quality is second to none. This is absolutely incredible. I love playing with this one. This palette makes me feel so inspired, and I always love the looks I create with this one. So I had to give it to the Norvina Volume 5. Okay, from Dior was the next brand I chose, and this is one where this is a very expensive brand, as we know, and I've only tried a few things. The majority of them have been from their Backstage line, and that is true for my favorite product from the brand. This is their Rosy Glow Blush in the shade Pink. This is a new love of mine. This is one that has been going absolutely viral online. I think for the longest time this is what we thought Kylie Jenner used, but it turned out to be one from her own collection, I think. But this one just gained instant popularity. Everybody loves this one. This is almost never in stock. It is very, very pricey, but it is a really, really beautiful blush. This is actually what I'm wearing today. I really, really do love it. It's obviously not nearly as intimidating on as it is in the pan, and I am very, very fair. So for me to be able to make this work, I think that says something. This is a very wearable blush, and you can easily sheer it out. It sheers out very, very well. And also, this is a very long wearing blush, so I really think this is a phenomenal product. The next brand is Charlotte Tilbury, and I chose to go with the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. So for this one, I wanted to actually pick one of her face palettes, but I kind of thought that would be cheating. I wanted to say her lipsticks and to a certain degree some of her eyeshadows, but this is the one that really stuck out to me. I love this setting spray. It is a perfect hybrid of the hydration you get from MAC Fix Plus with the lasting power of the Urban Decay All Nighter. It combines the best benefits of two classic setting sprays into one. It's such a good spray. The bottle is beautiful. I love this. This is my second bottle of this, and I've got a backup, so I highly, highly recommend that setting spray. The next product, I'm gonna have to pop up a photo because I don't have it with me. I don't know where it is, but this is the Fenty Gloss Bombs. I've tried a few products from Fenty. I've tried some of their foundations, I've tried their cream blushes, and one of their super glossy lipsticks, which I also really enjoy, but nothing wows me quite as much as the Fenty Gloss Bombs. They just look so beautiful. They're so beautiful, they're so shiny, and they smell really good. So for me, I had to give it to the Gloss Bombs. I know it was kind of an obvious choice, but it's just the best. Okay, next up we have Huda Beauty, and I went with the Rose Quartz palette for this one. I have been burned by some of the 9pan palettes in the past, so I do think the quality of her larger palettes is definitely much, much better. And this is the Rose Quartz. This came out, I believe, for holiday 2021, and this is one of my very favorite palettes. This is the one I'm wearing today. It's definitely a very pinky, purpley palette, but there's something special about these shimmers. They're just so beautiful and ethereal. And I love the way the mattes perform. The mattes perform so well, and I just find I get really unique looks with this palette. Not today, but in general I do get really unique looks with this palette, and for that reason I really love this, and the quality is, again, it's phenomenal quality. Okay, the next brand is one that I haven't talked about a whole ton here on my channel, and this is from Item Beauty. I have been working on their brow pencil, which I do really enjoy, but my favorite product from the brand is their lip oil, and this is the Lip Quip lip oil, and I have the shade Come Through. So this is very much like a peachy pink kind of a shade. And the packaging, it's cute, and you get a really large doe foot. And for the longest time, I could not figure out what this scent was that I love so much. I knew I loved the scent. I couldn't put my finger on it. And I believe it was actually Andrea in a recent video who said it smelled like peach rings. And I was like, that's it. This smells like peach rings. I love this. No wonder I love the smell of this. This is just so good. This is such a comfortable formula too. It's definitely an oil, but it feels so comfortable. It's not sticky. It looks beautiful. Again, it is an oil, so it doesn't wear the longest, but I'm not really expecting it to if I'm reaching for a lip oil. I just really enjoy this. I think this is a really, really great product, and this honestly makes me want to try more from the brand. Okay, from Lawless. If you are familiar with my channel, you probably think you know what I'm going to say. You're probably thinking I'm going to say the lip liner, or perhaps the blush. But there's actually a product that is even better, and that is the Glam Guard Longwear Setting Spray. So this is pretty much on par with my Charlotte Tilbury. This has such a fine mist that you almost can't tell if you're getting any on you or not. It is such a unique setting spray for that reason, and I love it. I love that I never have to deal with droplets on my face, and this really, really does lock in my makeup. Anytime I've kind of thought to myself, my makeup lasted really well, I used this. This is what I used to finish. So I think this is a really great product. Again, it's more affordable than some other setting sprays as well. I think it's more affordable than the MAC Fix Plus, and the mister is better, and it really locks everything in. So I really, really love this one. And Lawless is a brand that I am really starting to love a ton of products from. I think we're going to see some really exciting things from Lawless in the future. Okay, the next brand I have listed is LYS, and I have tried, I feel like, quite a few LYS products so far, but my favorite I think has to be the bronzer. This is the No Limits Matte Bronzer, and I have the shade Motivate. So I have tried the bronzer stick, and I definitely preferred this to this bronzer stick. This is just a really great texture for a bronzer. It's definitely very matte, but the tone of this works well for me. It looks beautiful on the skin. It blends out super easily, and it's not overly pigmented like I kind of find the bronzer stick to be. So I really enjoy this. I think this is gorgeous, and it's definitely one of my favorite powder bronzers in my collection. Next on my list is Makeup Forever, and for this one, I had to pick, again, a newer favorite, and this is the HD Skin Foundation. This is one that replaced their original Ultra HD formula, which was like a cult favorite, and it was definitely my favorite. I wore that foundation every single day when I was in the office, and I would also often go for walks on my lunch break. And keep in mind, because I am in Canada, I am used to some very cold winters and also some very hot summers. So I have gone for walks in it all, and that foundation used to hold up. But then I tried this one, and this was the new version, and going into this one, I don't think I had the best attitude. I was pretty sure it wasn't going to be nearly as good as my beloved, but you know what? It's even better. It's even better. It is definitely more coverage. The Ultra HD was a very light sheer coverage. This is definitely more medium. The Ultra HD was a very natural finish. This is definitely more matte. But on one hand, I can easily say that my preferences have changed. I am preferring a bit more coverage than I used to. But this literally lasts all day long. It sticks around. It looks so good on the skin. I really, really do enjoy this. I haven't gotten to test it out the way the old one got tested out. I no longer work in an office. I permanently work from home, and now my lunchtime walks are walks on my treadmill. So it's a little different, but I will say I still super, super love this. I think this is an amazing quality foundation, and when I did a side-by-side wear test, I preferred this one. So this is definitely the winner. Okay, I also put Merit Beauty because I have tried a lot of products from this brand, and the one that came out on top for me was actually the Minimalist Stick. So they've redone this one recently. I don't think they have changed the formula, but they have added a lot more product and kept the price the same, which I have to mention because I think that's awesome. But I love this little stick foundation. I was looking for a stick foundation for the longest time, and this is beautiful. This is not super high coverage. I would say this is a good medium coverage, but this is supposed to be used for foundation and concealer, whatever you want. And that's the reason they added more product, because a lot of people were doing the whole foundation concealer and then going through it so quickly. So that's why they redid it. But this is actually a really, really great product. I love this little foundation stick. I think it looks beautiful on my skin. It's definitely a bit more matte, but it blends out super easily. It looks beautiful on the skin, and I really enjoy it. From Nars, I'm not going to stay here too long because I have talked this one to death. This is the Light Reflecting Foundation. This is my all-time favorite foundation in the whole wide world. This makes my skin look so radiant and healthy and beautiful, and it gives a perfect level of coverage, just like a perfect medium coverage. It looks so good on the skin. This is in the shade Mont Blanc, so it is my perfect shade as well. And this also lasts all day long. I love this foundation. Okay, moving on to Natasha Denona. So I'm pretty sure you already know I'm going to give this to an eyeshadow palette. And my favorite from Natasha, this one changes quite a bit because she keeps releasing new things and I keep falling in love with them. But as of right now, my favorite Natasha Denona product is the Mini Biba palette. I know it is incredibly random, but for the longest time I was in love with the glam, and then retro replaced it, and then Biba replaced retro. I love this little palette so much. It is so perfect for every day. I'm obsessed with this shimmer shade right here in the middle. I always love the way my look comes out when I use this. I feel so good when I wear this palette, and it's just an absolute favorite of mine of all time. Of all the palettes I own, this is probably still one of my very favorites. Okay, One Size Beauty. So this is another one where I've tried quite a few things, but my absolute favorite product is the One Size Turn Up the Base Butter Silk Concealer. This one absolutely captured my heart when it first got released, and I still absolutely love it. I've been testing out some new concealers this year, and my benchmark every time I use one is, but do I like it as much as this one? I really, really super love this. Obviously, it's gotten a lot of use out of me. I just love the coverage. It's very full coverage. It can be a little bit drying if you go in with too much, but it's not usually overly drying on me, and I do have very dry skin, so I would be the first one to tell you if it was way too dry. This is just such a favorite. I love this concealer. I still love this one. Pat McGrath. So I have never tried her foundation that everybody raves about. I've tried her eyeshadow palettes, including her Motherships, and they're beautiful. Tried her blushes, they're beautiful. But the product that really is magic is her Skin Sublime Perfection Blurring Eye Powder. This is what it says it is. This is so beautiful under the eyes. There is no other powder in my collection that looks as good as this one does under the eyes. This is really just the most finely milled powder, so it never makes your under eyes look heavy or crepey. It works with every single concealer I've tried. It just looks so good. It sets the concealer down without adding any sort of heaviness. This is really, really a beautiful powder, and sometimes when I want those blurring properties without the heaviness, I will put this on other areas of my face as well, and it just works like a dream. The next brand I have on my list is Patrick Ta, and this one was hard because this is a brand so far that I feel like does no wrong. And I'm not sure if you've seen this already online, but he's coming out with a new cream foundation and powder duo, and I'm so excited. It's going to be ridiculously expensive, but I think I have to test it out. Again, this brand is just one of my all-time favorites. But for now, my favorite product from the brand is the Major Dimension 2 eyeshadow palette. So this is the Rosier palette. This is the one that came out this year. He did release the original Major Dimension last year. And when I'm picking favorites from the brand, it has to be this palette. The formula of this palette is even better than the one he did last year. I love the formula of this. The mattes are so buttery and blendable and beautiful and pigmented. The shimmers are also so gorgeous. They almost feel wet to the touch, some of them. They look so beautiful. They're so reflective. I love the way he did the cream shades. These are also really great bases if you want to use them for that. I overall just super love this palette. I think it's so beautiful. And I'm a big fan of pink, so I would tell you if it wasn't great. From Rare Beauty, I had to mention the Perfect Strokes Volumizing Mascara. I love this mascara. This is the one I'm wearing today. First of all, I don't buy a lot of high-end mascaras, and if I do, I typically don't repurchase just because they're so expensive, and I have drugstore options that do just as good that I do repurchase. This mascara is absolutely worth it. This makes my lashes look so thick, but also so long at the same time. It never smudges, never flakes. I love the way my lashes look every single time I use this. And I have to say, this is the best mascara at Sephora in general. That's a large claim, but it's true. I love this product. From Makeup by Mario, I also have a lot of options to choose from this brand. This is another brand that doesn't really do me wrong, and there's a lot of things I could say, but I think my favorite has to be the Ultra Suede Cozy Lip Cream. I just love this so much. I love a good long-lasting lip product. I especially love one that has that kind of suede texture to it. I love that. I'm a big fan of that. I love the MAC Powder Kiss liquid lipsticks. Jaclyn Hill's lip cushions are a similar texture. I love that. I love that texture. So automatically I love this product. He didn't come out with a ton of shades of these, just a whole bunch of nude shades, and I love that. I love this shade. I love everything about this one. This is such a good liquid lip formula. I love these so very much. Okay, we have 3 brands left, so let's go with Kaja first. I haven't tried a ton from the brand, so I wanted to mention the Kaja Butter Up Play Bento Blush and Bronzer Trios. So this is what actually introduced me to the brand. They also have these cute little eye stacks. They're like a trio of 3 shades. Those are also beautiful. But here's what I love. So this brand is one that really surprised me. So I chose the Butter Up Play Bento Blush and Bronzer Trio. So you get a cream bronzer, a highlight, and you get a blush. So the blush isn't my absolute favorite blush in my whole collection. The highlighter is absolutely stunning, and this cream bronzer is gorgeous. This is the cream bronzer that got me into cream bronzers. So this cream bronzer is the reason I now own like 15 cream bronzers. This is so good. This little stack, this is literally all you need if you're looking for something for travel purposes. This would literally be all you need. It's so tiny, it's so compact, the products are great. I think the face trio is my favorite. I really love this. From Kosas, I had to choose the Cloud Set powder. So again, I am somebody who has very dry skin. My powder is actually sort of falling out, so I'm just gonna hold it. But this is such a beautiful powder, especially if you have dry skin. If you have oilier skin, this might not be heavy enough to really lock everything in, but for me and my dry skin, this is phenomenal. This powder is so lightweight, so blurring. I don't often notice enough blurring with products, but this actually is. This and the Pat McGrath, so blurring of any sort of pores or anything you want to cover. This is again just so lightweight. It feels like nothing on the skin. It doesn't feel like you're just adding a bunch of heavy powder. It just works and it just melts everything right in. This is the powder I have on today. It didn't make my foundation look at all heavy. It just kind of locked everything in, took that tackiness out of my foundation, which is what I really want my powders to do. And I love this powder. I've been loving up on this one for a long time now. All right, the last brand is Say. And of course I had to give that to my Say Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. I swear by this cream bronzer. Absolutely swear by it. I love, love, love this. This is definitely a little bit more on the sheer side compared to some of the other cream bronzers like the Huda Tantour, the Nars. This one is definitely a little bit more sheer, but it's so blendable. It's so easy to work with. It gives you just such a natural bronzy glow. I love the way this looks on the skin. I love how easy it is to work with. I love the way I feel when I wear it. So, and it's essentially mistake proof. So I absolutely go nuts for this cream bronzer. And that is it. That is my favorite product from 20 brands at Sephora. Let me know down below some of your favorites, or let me know if you've tried any of these. I absolutely just love hearing from you guys. But that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!